Hello. In this video, I will show you how to quickly design a new report object, including the query, a data grid, a pivot grid, a report, and a dashboard. Let's create a new report object. Click the New Report Object button on the menu. Every report object is based on its underlying query. So let's create the query first. Select the new data connection you created previously. You now have access to all tables, views, and stored procedures of your database. Select the tables and views you want to include in the query. If your database schema has relationships between tables, DBxtra will automatically join them. In any case, you can add and edit the relationships manually. Now add the fields you want to include in the query. By the way, did you notice that the SQL syntax is forming by itself? You can, of course, also write the SQL manually or paste it from other applications, and all three query panes will synchronize. Let's add a calculated field. DBxtra allows you to add any expression supported by the database you're connected to. You can assign friendly alias names, so your end users will understand what each column means. Let's add a date function. DBxtra includes many functions which will make your life easier without writing code. In this case, we will convert the date value into a month value. Filter the query. You can add any criteria. DBxtra offers many predefined date filters like last year, current month, etc. In this case, let's add a date filter for the last year. Define user input parameters. When the report is ran, the end user will be asked to enter a required parameter to filter it. You can enter a single or multiple select parameter. Adding aggregate functions is easy. In this case, we want to summarize by the net sales field. Save the report object. When you finish designing the query, you can save the report object. You can always edit any report object later. When saving a report object, it will be deployed automatically to user groups with assigned privileges. Assign a name for the report object and define the project folder to save to. Define which user groups can have access to it. Now let's take a look at the data grid. The data grid offers many functionalities of formatting, grouping, sorting, and summarizing your data. You can also create drill-down data grids. You can save different data grid views to be able to toggle between them later. Assign a name for the view. Now you can browse through the different data grid views. Let's create various pivot grid scenarios. Drag and drop fields to the row, column, and data area. You can also add charts to the pivot grid. Save your pivot grid views to access them later. You can create as many different views as you want. Once pivot grid views are saved, end users can browse through them. Now you can toggle between your saved pivot grid views. Now let's design a report. The DBxtra Visual Report Designer allows you to create any imaginable pixel-perfect report. Let's add a report group. Select the fields to group on and define on what fields to summarize at the group footer. Drag and drop the required fields to the report area. You can do that individually or by selecting several fields. Align the fields. Move the labels to the report or page header. Format the report to your liking. Reposition controls by dragging. Assign pre-established quick formatting to controls. DBxtra offers a host of standard controls which you can easily add to your report. Define and use your styles to quickly format any control. Styles make it really easy to assign the same output formats to all your reports. Let's take a preview of how the report looks. Finally, let's design an interactive dashboard. Add a grid item to the dashboard. Select fields for the column area. You can add delta and spark line items. Set the item to a multiple master filter. Add a chart item. Select fields for the arguments and assign values. Also, let's define this item as a multiple master filter. Format the chart item. Now let's add a pie to the dashboard. Define fields for the argument and value controls. We'll set this pie item also to a multiple master filter. We also want to see a map for sales by regions. Define the map and attribute controls. In this case, we'll set the attribute to continent. Again, we'll define the map item to a multiple master filter. Format the map. Finally, let's add another chart. Define the chart item. DBxtra offers many dashboard functionalities which are not explained in this video. Please check for more tutorials on our DBxtra documentation site. Arrange and resize the dashboard items. Let us see how the dashboard looks. The dashboard is now interactive between all items. You can now filter and drill down on any of these items. Save your report object at any time, and when finished, you can now access and edit it from within the DBxtra Designer's Project Explorer. Click Design to edit the query, data grid, pivot grid, report, or dashboard. Or click View to open it either with the Designer or the Report web service. End users can now access the report with any web browser. All saved report objects are immediately and automatically deployed to the Report web service. Open the Report web service. End users need to log in with their credentials to be able to view reports assigned to the user group they belong to. Now the end user can access all data grid and pivot grid views, reports, and dashboards through a web browser. Thank you for watching this video. Please check our documentation site for more tutorials and videos.